Am I the only one when reading Storm comics? I literally hear inside of my head the Storm voice actors from X-Men, the animated series.
Mistress of the elements commands you to release that child.
Or am I the only one that hears that voice? I can't be the only one. Ororo, Storm, from Marvel Comics has been a goddess, a thief, and a member and leader of the X-Men. With her mutant ability to command the weather, on top of her fighting skills, all of this stuff is what makes her a powerhouse. I mean, there was a time when she had to survive on her own while young, so she had to have fighting. I mean, in recent comics, they talk about how she was worshipped as a goddess, they still bring it up, and they talk about how she is the mightiest mutant. She was Queen of Wakanda, an X-Man, an Avenger, a Weather Witch. I mean, in recent stuff, you could say she's powerful because of a cosmic being, because apparently Storm is chosen by the universe itself to be this thing known as his eternal storm, apparently. Like it's her destiny to be extremely powerful or something. Over the years, grew up and matured, learning new things about her powers as the years goes by. It's the same stuff. Mixing in her raw power with her fists, using wings to fly. She can control the air in your lungs to suffocate you because you breathe when she allows it. Can use every element, not just wind, but wind, ice, electricity, to use it as melee attacks for blunt attacks or stab beams with it. I mean, her ice manipulation is so precise, she can literally ice skate, make her own snow, and she also has super senses to where she can perceive the universe in a different way. Yeah, all of this can explain her ability too. She's like the best of the best when it comes to the tier of mutant she is, like Omega level mutant in the aspect of weather manipulation. If you're on Omega level mutant, that means you have an undefinable upper limit. Just in case you need to actually see her destroy a building. Yes, she can actually blow up buildings with her blast power. Yeah, she'll even destroy the prisons. And it's literally confirmed her lightning bolts can shake buildings themselves. I mean, even herself said, oh, holding up a building is nothing to her because her wind, powerful wind, has the power to level mountains. I mean, she was threatening to shatter a being. Like Emma Frost, that's literally made of diamond. She was threatening to shatter her. Mountain shattering type stuff makes sense when you see her make huge tidal waves that can devastate multiple buildings. Things that can easily blow away buildings. If a tsunami's coming, for example, she has the power to halt such occurrences. It's pretty much proven she can stop, like in this occasion here, it's literally stated, 1,000,000 tons of water. If she lose focus, 1,000,000 tons will crush people. Proving that she can manipulate, stop, blah, 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 1,000,000 tons type stuff. Mountain trembling or mountain destruction is still scratching the surface of her blast power because, I mean, just think about her name. She can, like in this particular situation, Quebec City, she was able to create like a storm of the century type occurrence here. And in this particular occasion, she created a superstorm. This puts all the feats I've said so far to shame, basically, because it was some kind of primal storm that sculpted the face of the planet. They said this storm that she's producing is the similar storm that sculpted the face of the planet. Of course, they eventually had to disperse this storm, and the planetary hyperstorm did vanish. I mean, she has to watch her emotions because there's implications she could actually set the atmosphere on fire. Oh no, this isn't an exaggeration. Like, I'm talking about affecting, this much. Everybody can feel it. As powerful as Thor is, I don't think Thor would be exaggerating about such a feat, but it's literally stated by him too. She has the power. She could scour the surface of the world down to its bedrock. Like, the planet is just at her command. Like, an entire planet is hers to mold, they say. I mean, yeah, the Earth is big. There's a big chunk of Earth that's covered up by clouds, right? Imagine Storm having the raw power to twist up all these clouds on this whole planet, Earth. Like, she literally was able to make an elemental cosmic turbulence. She was able to shield the whole planet from solar radiation approaching the Earth that will stop any harmful rays from penetrating to Earth's atmosphere, protecting something that would have apparently caused its eventual destruction. Yeah, she can literally save the entire planet. Yeah, look at all these clouds she's moved. Yeah, a lot of power. You got another occasion of her altering the weather on a planetary scale. Like it's even stated here, I am Storm. I do not do this often. The weather itself responds to her every whim, but affecting the planet on such a scale, it is unnatural. It will have repercussions across the world. The beings that Storm fights also kind of prove she could level planetoids or planets or things of that such, like in this occasion with Polaris. She can blast and match beings this strong. This is impressive considering how strong Polaris is. She's a being, Polaris is, a being that's so mighty, can erupt energy downward through 5 miles of ocean, through 4,000 miles of the Earth's ancient crust, down to the very molten center of the planet itself. And these are the type of beings she can power with her blast power. She can actually make it feel like the weight of Jupiter is on your back. It was this occasion with Thor, like she literally put the weight of the entire planet on his back. The weight of a planet like Jupiter, which is bigger than Earth. This pretty much proves that her blast feel like the equivalent of a large planet like Jupiter landing on you. But yeah, she can control the universal forces and put them on your back. It literally says Thor felt the weight of a far off world upon his back. Storm, in this occasion, was able to channel so much energy. This was like a team effort, but she produced all the raw energy, of course, in this team effort to reignite a star so these beings can have light. It was this place known as the Ring of Fire. It burns again thanks to Storm. See, this would happen. They had to reset Cyclops' visors, basically, to where it can withstand it can absorb different energy. So Storm was producing the energy that can reignite a star. Like, yeah, this was a team effort, but Cyclops really wasn't doing none of the work when it comes to blast power. It was really basically Storm. All Colossus did was hold her up in the air. So, yeah, she blasted with all that force and then converted it to the optic blast. We're not even going to get on the difference between a sun and Earth size planet. Her having this kind of power to blast it at Cyclops to reignite this ring of fire so they can have light again is all thanks to Storm. Saying her blast power couldn't destroy the Earth based on this feat right here would be really disrespectful at this point. Stars themselves vary in size, but when it comes to smaller stars, I think we could all agree bare minimally she would be able to reignite a smaller star. Her blast as a bare minimum would feel like a sun smacking you in the face. Something way more massive than planets ramming you in the face. But depending on the environment she's in, one could say she can use the surrounding atmospheres or the environment to amp her attacks even harder, because not the standard stuff we're already used to. Not only are we used to her lightning blast being hot, I'm talking about 6 times hotter than the surface of the sun hot, but also in this particular situation, you got this thing known as the galactic core, which has millions of suns crammed into a relatively tiny volume of space, living stars, living worlds. Each, she draws both spiritual and material sustenance. She can use that power outwardly, summons the power of the entire core, which has millions of stars in it. It was stated that the briefest moment she was putting out energy of a star, like they talk about how she was able to shine like a new star for the briefest of seconds. So it was kind of implying star energy output-ish type thing. Star shattering force. Even in parts of the environment where she shouldn't have the advantage, when it comes to the top tiers like Silver Surfer beings that can easily shrug off stars, her blasts are potent enough to damage Herald of Galactus level beings like Silver Surfer, Stardust, even in environments she's not supposed to have an advantage at. To show like this star shattering stuff isn't really that much of a reach when you know how durable Silver Surfer is. Narratively speaking, it seems they want her to be somewhere in that power range with the heavy hitters. She can damage them with her blast, lightning blast, whatever. Beings like Magneto, who definitely are strong enough to destroy planets, we've seen her give issues to. We've seen her blast the Hulk. Somebody that's supposed to be immune to getting cold apparently made the Hulk cold somehow. Even Hulk says this don't feel natural. That's a feat. One could say this is like a team effort, but this can kind of give you more idea of her blast being star shattering makes more sense. The fact that she can affect the Hulk this much, even though Cable was helping her out with telepathy and such, using everything she's got, she was able to help make Hulk sleepy with just raw concussive blast power. Even though lightning is Colossus's weakness, of course, because metal and electricity don't mix, but she was able to damage Colossus. She guided energy into the Hulk's head, shorting out his synapses of his brain and allowing for Cable to hit him with a single telepathic bullet. Then working together again here, she was a helpful aid in making him drowsy. She's been in scuffles with other powerhouses saying she's an energy manipulator, just like this being Vulcan is. Storm even said she won easy on him. She fought like a Phoenix Force user being, like Phoenix Force Emma, for example. An Emma Frost way more powered up than normal. You know, the Phoenix Force is a cosmic force. And the fact she's not getting one-shotted is impressive. Legion, and also Nate Gray, Storm was able to help separate these two by using her blast to do some damage to such an amped up being to show how potent her lightning blasts are. You telling me she ain't a top tier, but she can do all this? She's pretty hexy and powerful at the same time. Like, we already know how powerful Dr. Doom is. She drained Dr. Doom's energy out of his armor to show that she can battle and damage, do some discomfort to such top tiers. Her just standard blast can cause agony to beings like Thor. She can inflict pain on beings like Hela. And of course, in her little Thor forms, of course, she has fought alongside Thor in the Thor Corps. It kind of fits her theme because she's kind of like a weather deity, so it kind of fits. How do you have so much blast power where even a group of entities, like literally outnumbering her, ganging up, kind of technically, kind of boxing all of them? They even tried to seal her up, and she said, nope, I got too much raw power. And that's when you see her and Magneto put in work together These two work together to dispel the Shadow King. Based on the lore, she has good combat speed on top of her fighting skills, like dodging Cyclops' blast in this particular situation. She does train, and we see her weaving around lasers in this situation. You see in occasions like here, she's dodging. When her back's turned, she dodges Cyclops' blast here, like showing her agility. Yeah, this is like a common thing in Marvel of characters being quicker when it comes to reaction to bullets. Like you literally see the bullets mid-flight and she's moving out the way of them. Something you probably think, if you're not used to comics, you're probably thinking this is something only speedsters can do, but Super Soldier Tears do this all the time in Marvel, so it makes sense for her to be able to do it when it comes to her physicals. She caught this thrown knife, lasers and high velocity stun shells she avoids. Super soldiers like Captain America, she reacting to his shield throw. Beings that are also superhuman like Gambit, she can react to in fighting speed, like deflecting his cards. Like you can see her combat speed here, reacting to laser bolts. When it comes to straight line speed, she has to be at least supersonic. She can keep up with Human Torch. She can fly at speeds that only jets can match. So yeah, she can fly. She can at least break the sound barrier stated. Right here, for example, that she can break the sound barrier. There's implications Storm can fly faster, quite a bit faster than the speed of light, because this place known as Sentinel City is near this solar system's sun, and yet she can fly this way from Earth in an extremely short amount of time. Somebody that's a legit speedster, like Quicksilver, you see him in the middle of running. She was able to react or blast him before he had the time to get to her. I mean, she lives in Marvel. I mean, we got cosmic forces that can delete galaxies with a thought. She's harming and damaging beings that can withstand galaxy-shattering explosions. With her blast, she can damage beings like this. I'm just saying. Her power gets crazy. Like, see, this is how they explain it. Right here, it's talked about how to be an Omega level mutant is to be without limit, but there are limits beyond limits. Powers beyond powers that she is also the heir to. One can argue this is not canon because this one can say is a future event, a possible future when she's older. They call her the old witch. This is what possibly the true potential of Storm could be in the far future or something. Apparently, she seems to be able to use her mutant power with her magical heritage type stuff, and she was able to, in 100 years, this is what Storm's full potential could be in a possible future. They talk about her mother was a sorceress from a sorceress line. She apparently fused magic and mutation, so she might command the weather of the cosmos itself and summon a storm to shake realities, aka more than one universes, in Ororo's name. Let the wormhole open. And she apparently sucked in an entire solar system doing this in the far future, possible future. That might not ever happen. Who knows? You know how these Marvel possible futures be. Like she says, a cosmic control, like they literally say, a controlled wormhole just ate them all because Storm learned how to fuse magic and mutation. So not only can she make a ridiculously crazy wormhole that can suck up a solar system, but she can quite literally in the future quake or shake actual realities. Like they said it themselves. It can shake realities, guys. More than one reality. Storm literally made a storm so big that it encircles the world tree and threatens to expand to the outer realms. This just shows she can't let her power go out of control because, stated here, rages around the Yggdrasil, threatening to tear the world tree asunder. The reason why Storm making a storm around the Yggdrasil is impressive is considering the Yggdrasil is kind of ridiculously big. It's kind of like a quantum metaverse. See, the Yggdrasil, it's not just 9 universes, not 9 worlds, but it's really just, well, those worlds are just a tip of a maybe infinite iceberg, a whole bunch of universes like the Yggdrasil. Like, imagine a tree that got all these different universes, infinite, right? And apparently Storm, somehow under her own power, can make a storm that encompasses all of this somehow. Her raw power can apparently tear the Yggdrasil asunder, something that can literally hold universes. There was these beings that were known as Dominion. They were beings in this overspace. This is where Storm was, overspace. These beings were so mighty, they were apparently a threat to Beyonders. They call the Beyonders afraid. They are linear. We are not, apparently. And Storm, somehow or miraculously, was able to blast and cause these beings pain. Man, what kind of blast? She's out here hurting beings or causing pain to beings. That cause Beyonders limited. But before I get going, everybody, you gotta respect Storm. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.